Hello and welcome. Carrie here from Healing Humanity, the power of a proper human diet. And tonight we have our Carnivore Q&A Thursday night live stream. We're going to be doing some giveaways. We're going to be answering any questions you may have. And I'm really happy to see we already have some folks posting some questions. Last week we ran out of time. We had a flurry of questions the last 5 minutes. So I really encourage everyone, if you want to have your question answered, please post it as soon as possible with the QQQ. And before we do some quick introductions, post it with hashtag ribeye. We're going to be doing a giveaway during this live stream of a Healing Humanity shirt. So post your question with a QQQ, hashtag ribeye, and we're going to randomly select one of those questions to give away a Healing Humanity shirt. You have to do hashtag ribeye, and you also have to be following each of the individuals you see here on the screen. I have a link in the description for each of their YouTube channels. It takes 2 seconds to follow each of them. And yeah, so how's it going, everyone? How's it going, Adam, Lynn, Dr. Nelson, Ashley?
Fantastic, Carrie. How you guys doing?
Doing wonderful, doing amazing. Good stuff. Before we jump in and start taking some of the questions, do we have any announcements, Ashley? We got anything coming up?
Well, definitely want to announce, of course, if you aren't aware already, that we're going to be at Healing Humanity. I know that you and Adam in particular are super excited about getting to present there again this year and give some updates on the documentary. And then we're also going to have a booth. So we want everybody to come by. If you're going to be at Healing Humanity, come by and check out our booth and say hello.
Hack your health, you mean?
What did I say?
Healing Humanity.
Hack your health. Come see Healing Humanity at Hack Your Health.
There you go.
Then we also have a wonderful a VIP dinner that is being put together, and this is very exciting. Amazing group of carnivores that are going to be there, and we're excited about this opportunity too. I think there are still some tickets available for sale for the dinner, but you may want to hurry if you're planning on attending to get those tickets.
They're going fast. And then May 2nd and May 3rd, Meatstock 2026. You can still get your tickets at meatstockconvention.com. If you use promo code Healing Humanity, you get $50 off. There's an incredible lineup. I'm pretty certain that that's probably going to sell out. So if you're interested in attending that in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, May 2nd, May 3rd, 2026.
Yeah, that one's definitely going to sell out. Massive lineup. That's like a quarter of the lineup, basically.
Right? That's not even all the speakers, which is crazy. Someone was saying,
and I'm sorry, this past May, it was packed. It was sold out. It definitely sold out pretty early.
Yeah.
Right? If you're asking who's going to be there in terms of your favorite carnivore doctors, experts, influencers, YouTubers, the better question is who's not going to be there.
Right.
So every single person's going to be there. And even other folks are going to be there, like Michaela Peterson, which is going to be incredible.
Exciting.
So join us there, meatstockconvention.com. And the last announcement I have before we jump into the questions is we are on the home stretch. We have a Healing Humanity book that we're putting together, and we want your story. If you have a story of healing, eating a proper human diet, you can submit it at healinghumanity.movie. You can also watch our new trailer there. We were very grateful to go on last night with Bella, SPG, and we shared the trailer with her audience. And you can watch the trailer there. You can purchase our shirts. You can submit your story. You can sign up for our email newsletter. You can do all of that at healinghumanity.movie. All right, let's see what questions we have here. Here's a question from Jesse. Can carnivore help POTS? My brother has POTS. Would love it if you could point me to videos of this diet helping someone.
I would definitely encourage them to get in contact with Amy Hosp. And her channel is Amy Hosp, a carnivore created in secret. I think that's the name of her channel. She has POTS and she's carnivore. She's got POTS, EDS, and MCAS like me. It's a more challenging thing to address with regardless to what diet you're on. Dr. Nelson, have you treated anybody or helped anybody with POTS with carnivore?
With the carnivore specifically, not. I've seen patients with POTS, but I certainly would recommend Amy's channels and even your channels.
Yeah, I mean, I have orthostatic intolerance, which is kind of a little bit under that POTS umbrella. It's super important to make sure you're getting enough sodium when it comes to dealing with POTS. And, that's one of the things with carnivore. I mean, if you want to try carnivore, it definitely helps with decreasing inflammation, helps your body function better in general. But you absolutely need to be careful with your sodium, because a lot of people transitioning from a standard American diet to a carnivore diet don't realize how much sodium they're getting in these packaged foods. And then you're going from eating all natural foods that you have to add your sodium. It's easy to forget to get lots and lots of sodium. So with POTS in particular, I know my doctor wants me to have over 7 grams of sodium a day, just to make it so that I don't feel like I'm going to pass out. And so you have to be really careful with that.
For several months there, I had POTS symptoms, basically because I was getting hypotensive, and the solution was salt.
Yeah. Yeah, which is good because salt is great on meat.
Perfect. Marla is asking, what do you all do in the Zoom calls? I think maybe Marla's referring to our healinghumanity.life
community. Yeah.
community. Yeah, there's a promo code on the bottom of the screen there. So in the Zoom calls, we just got off a Zoom call. Thursday nights, we do our Inspire Together call where we all get on and we share what has inspired us since the previous week. And we had some incredible stories of healing shared during that call. Lynn, you're on so many of these Zoom calls. Adam, too. What do you guys, what do we do on these calls? What do you think?
It depends on the call. So, we have a variety of different types of calls, but we have calls Sunday through Friday, and we are going to be adding a Saturday book club as well. So Monday through Friday, we have our Breaking Addictions calls, where it's for food addiction. We go through the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, and you can get an accountability partner. And there's step studies. There's also fellowship groups where you can fellowship and share with each other. Tuesdays, we have a live Q&A, very similar to what we're doing here. But instead of asking questions in a chat, you can actually chat with us face to face. And that is with Coach Lisa, who's amazing, and the rest of our team. On Wednesdays, we have an expert on. And so you can ask, we have a variety of experts that we have in, some amazingly brilliant doctors and other experts that you can ask your questions directly to them. Thursdays is our Inspire Together call, where
What kind of experts do we have?
brilliant.
Who do we have?
Oh,
Like,
well,
specifically?
we have quite often, we have Dr. Laura Buchanan. We have Amanda Decker. We have had Dr. Nelson, Dr. Kiltz. We have had Dr. Ovadia. We have, I mean, I can't even remember who all.
Dr. Baker, Professor Thomas Seafried, Dr. Georgia Eid.
Recently. Yeah, I mean, we've got a ton of different. We've got some doctors that you guys may not know, like Dr. Donald Phillips. He's amazing. And so we had Dr. Sam High on just recently. And so we look for doctors that can offer a variety of perspectives and experiences and help answer your questions. We have hangouts. Friday night, we have a hangout called The Great Steak Escape. If you guys love Amy Hosp, she leads that one. Sunday afternoon, you can hang out for 2 hours with Dante Ferrigno and chat and have fun and just enjoy time spent hanging out with Dante. So that's basically what we've got going. And then we've got a book club starting soon.
You had me at Dante Ferrigno.
Well, I'm glad I had saved that for last then.
Right.
Awesome. Hey, it's Aunt B. Aunt B's asking, has anyone ever dealt with dental extractions that required finding someone who is set up for a mercury removal process? Anyone?
Or not.
Wow. Okay. Well, coincidentally here, or maybe providentially, I had a meetup this last weekend in DFW, and I met a gentleman who drove in from Midland who was a dentist. He actually, I will see if I can dig up his information because I know he'd probably be able to help. But he has been carnivore and for several years now, and I don't remember his name or information, but I'll see if I can get it to you, Aunt B. Since last week, I believe, or on one of the live streams, you won one of our T-shirts, and so if you're okay with me reaching out to you, I'll send you his information.
And aren't there a lot of just dentists, anyways, who now know the issues with the mercury that will go ahead and replace your fillings with enamel? I don't know because I've never had a cavity, but
I don't know either, but I know one of the things he was talking about, he's very specifically said to one of the gentlemen he was talking to, there, you've definitely got mercury in there that we need to get that out. So
yeah, I would maybe even ask your own dentist, because a lot of dentists know now that the mercury is not good.
All right. Marla asks, I recently seen that left shoulder pain can be referred pain from the pancreas or spleen. What could be the reason, and how do we help these organs to be healthy? Any symptoms to look for?
Dr. Nelson.
Yep.
Pancreas specifically is a very infamous organ for referred pain. It doesn't always hurt where's the pancreas, although, yeah, that's the first place that usually you would have pancreas pain will be in the middle of your upper abdomen, but you can have referred pain to the side, to the shoulder. So whenever there's inflammation, there's going to be frequently pain associated with that. The same thing happens with heart attacks. Very often refers to the left shoulder, can also refer to the right shoulder, and sometimes doctors have sent patients home because, well, it's in the right shoulder, it's not a heart attack, and it was a heart attack. I've had patients that had acute gallbladder inflammation, acute cholecystitis, that were admitted to the cardiac unit. No, actually, it was the other way around. Was admitted to a regular floor with supposedly acute cholecystitis, and when I went to check on him, he was actually having a heart attack. So many of our organs, is not only the spleen or the pancreas, can give you referred pain depending on the position and the nerve connections and all that. The reason, almost always, there's some type of inflammation going on.
All right. Mike Lowry asks, can carnivore help with left ventricular non-compaction cardiomyopathy? Yep. Next question. I don't
Okay,
know.
let's see if we can give him a little more feedback than that.
I'm just an individual. I don't know, but I was diagnosed with cardiomyopathy before carnivore. I don't recall if it was left ventricular non-compaction cardiomyopathy, but it has reversed for me on carnivore, and it's actually in my medical records. The doctor that reviewed my heart after going carnivore literally wrote in my medical records, you no longer have evidence of cardiomyopathy. So it's definitely helped me. And since I've done that video, I know this is all anecdotes and not science, but I've had so many people reach out to me noting similar improvements with congestive heart failure, cardiomyopathy, irregular heartbeats, eating a proper human diet. Yeah. I don't know if Dr. Nelson or Lynn or anyone has any other feedback.
Well, the comprehensive answer is yes.
Yeah, and we know that the heart loves ketones. And so if you listen to Dr. Ovadia, he'll tell you the heart loves ketones and works very well and functions very well on ketones. So it's really good to be in a ketogenic state if you have any issues with your heart, or even if you don't.
Absolutely. Brandon, can carnivore fix balding?
Dr. Nelson.
Dr. Nelson. No.
I'm gonna get you. All of you.
Honestly, I did lose hair when I was, maybe 8 months or so into carnivore because I lost a ton of weight, and it has definitely. So I don't know if carnivore I think carnivore caused my hair loss at that point, but that can happen with anybody. But if you're talking about like male body balding, I've heard one of our members on our membership site he has shown that there's some new hair growth coming in, but I wouldn't guarantee to anybody.
Right.
You know,
So I did a deep dive on this, and the bottom line is whenever you change your diet, it doesn't matter what you change it to, you may have hair loss, right?
right.
Also, there are metabolic causes, mineral and vitamin deficiency causes. So you need to eliminate those because iron deficiency can cause hair loss, B12 deficiency, and zinc and other minerals can cause the problem, the hair loss. In almost all situations, when it's because of diet, there will be some, if not all, will regrow. Okay, but you can always go to your doctor. Usually, when I saw someone for that, I would refer them specifically to the dermatologist, and they can do a workup and make sure that none of the known causes, low thyroid hormone or whatever else, is going on. And there are genetic predispositions, and if you have them, however, I do have proof on the screen that I did have a lot of hair at some point.
Right. I was just going to say, Brandon, also our good friend Dave Mack, who runs the YouTube channel No Carb Life, he did a video, I think it was maybe a year ago, where he actually had video of himself with a bald spot before, and then he showed the after and it filling in on carnivore. Before and after footage video. So that was pretty cool. So maybe check that one out.
Yeah. So it sounds like it depends on the cause.
Right.
Yeah. And if it's vitamin nutritional deficiencies, then I would imagine that may have been Dave Mack's situation. And that's why he regrow his hair.
Kerry also had some changing color of his hair, right?
Yeah, I had this white spot here for years, for like 15, 20 years. It was like an inch circle of white, and it's gone now. Jen used to cut my hair, and she always made fun of me because do I shave it off? Like, what do I do with this? And it's just completely gone now on carnivore. So, and my hair is darker too. So there's that. All right.
Hasn't worked for me yet, though. Trying.
Our good friend Lash said, the Zooms lift my spirits every time.
I love it.
Thanks, Lash. You lift our spirits as well.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
Lash motivates me to exercise.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
That's another benefit of the group. You can get some exercise motivation from Lash in particular. Okay, Hack and Slack is asking, this is continued. Make sure I get the first one. I want to help a friend improve their health, and carnivore is great because the rules are simple. What good measurements can we take for a before and after to track progress?
So I'm assuming we're asking about labs and not like body measurements.
Well, maybe she does mean, or he means a body measurement.
We can do both. Yeah. So I don't know, Dr. Nelson, which preliminary labs would you recommend?
Well, the basic thing would be, now this is a tricky one because if you do a lipid panel, your doctor is going to immediately jump to the conclusion, oh, you have to do this. But before and after, if you're going to start carnivore and you're going to do tests before, you want to know your fasting insulin, your hemoglobin A1C, your basic blood count, a comprehensive metabolic profile, which includes liver enzymes, fasting glucose, kidney function, liver function, and all that. You want to check your thyroid. If you check your lipids and they're high, you might want to go ahead and do lipid fractionation or advanced lipid panel or NMR lipoprotein. It has several names. If you didn't do it before, please don't do it until after 6 months following a carnivore diet, because during that period, the results are not going to be as reliable.
Yeah. Would it be helpful to do
And
some inflammatory markers?
yes, yes. Uh, Specifically, the most commonly used is the HSCRP, high sensitivity CRP. But you might want to do, I mean, if you want to do more complete things, there is an on your labs, a like a full package, digging in something it's called, and it has all these things, including probably homocysteine. If you want to do more lipoprotein evaluation, you want to do your ApoB, your LP little a, the advanced uh, lipid panel,
Did you say Applebee's?
LP little e,
Oh, okay, sorry.
and ApoB.
ApoB, I'll translate.
All right. Just clarifying there.
I'm gonna have a new routine next time we are together in event.
Dr. Nelson says it in his Spanish accent, and I can translate. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna
Oh,
ask.
by the way, if you meant body measurements, you definitely want to at least your abdominal circumference. Okay. Metabolically healthy people should have that number less than half your height. If your height is 5'6" or 66 inches, that means your abdominal circumference should be no more than 33 inches. If it's over 33, it's one of the markers that you're not absolutely metabolically healthy. We have high triglycerides, low HDL, which you'll have with those tests if you have any signs of diabetes, and the other one that you cannot measure with blood test or with a measuring tape is your blood pressure. Blood pressure should be at least under 130 over 80. Some people say 85. But if it's higher than that, and that means normal without medications for the blood sugar and the blood pressure. Normal meaning you're not taking medication. If you're already taking those medications, well, it is not normal. Okay.
Yeah. And I know I've learned that they say about half the population has the MTHFR genetic variant. And I think there's a lot of people who go into carnivore and they don't realize, and they're on the standard American diet and don't necessarily realize that they have this variant. I would, if I had known that earlier, I probably would have checked my homocysteine, folate levels, B12, and all that earlier, because it took me quite a ways into carnivore to realize that I had that variant. My homocysteine levels were elevated, ferritin was elevated, folate was low. And so I just think if your doctor will order those for you, it might be helpful just to get a jump on it and see if there's anything off with those levels too, because then it means that you need methylated B vitamins. Might as well get it earlier rather than later.
All right. Rob asks, I have better results when eating only early in the day. If eating later in the day, weight loss stalls also seems to affect my sleep. Still digesting. Anyone else experience this?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what earlier in the day means, but a lot of people do cut off their eating, mid-afternoon. It's really common to do that. Yeah.
If you're doing a fasting window, it varies for people, right? So some people don't do breakfast and they may not have their first meal until 2-3 in the afternoon, but there's others that thrive and do a lot better on in the mornings. But I think maybe that also has to do with when you mix things up. We've seen that a lot too. Then that can help break stalls and stuff like that. So a few variations on that. I listened to a video today though. I thought was really good, but it was it talked about how eating at that in that window, but that first meal is kind of what kicks things off. And a lot of times people are not super hungry in the mornings. I know I'm not, but a lot of times that can kick off, and your body can adjust over time to where I'm always kind of a late night muncher. That's always a guilty pleasure for me, is having a late night snack. But having breakfast earlier, having a bigger meal, and then cutting my window, changing my window a little bit, has made a difference for me, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Beverly, hashtag ribeye, when you have lipedema, does it require surgery?
Not necessarily. It depends on several factors, and some people are helped with having some surgery, which basically is removing some of that fat. Lipedema is a very interesting condition. Do you have anything to say, Lynn?
I don't have lipedema. Well, okay, I can't say that. I don't have diagnosed lipedema. So I do think I do have some areas of lipedema. And I know I have lipomas for sure. And I don't know the connection between those two, but I know that things have shrunk. It's inflammation. So I would say, see what results you get on, do a carnivore, see what results you get with decreasing your inflammation first, and see how you feel, because there's a lot of people who have lipedema who feel a lot better once they get their inflammation down. And anytime you're considering surgery, I would say no matter what surgery it is, get your inflammation down with diet as best you can, and then see what's left. And if you still need surgery, then at least you'll probably set yourself up better for surgery.
All right. I don't know if you guys are hearing this, but someone said it sounds like someone has their TV on in the background. I'm getting a little bit, I don't know if anyone has a TV on. Maybe it's coming through.
I don't have a TV here.
Definitely hearing it.
Adam's watching Dancing with the Stars right now.
Sorry, guys.
Hey, we got Bill Knott in the building. Hey, Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Bill.
Hello, Bill.
I have a quick Bill Knott announcement. Bill is awesome. He's doing incredible. If you guys didn't see his latest video, you're missing out. He got some incredible fall footage in Hatcher's Pass, Alaska with his drone. He just went out on an adventure with his brother. Bill is nearly half the man he used to be. He's doing really well. Unfortunately, though, he's not going to be making it to Hack Your Health, which was planned and announced earlier. He's been having some on and off issues with his knee. And honestly, I thought this was kind of an over-ambitious plan, because this is traveling all the way from Alaska to Florida. It's a long flight. Bill hasn't traveled that long before. So just to play it safe, we decided Bill's not going to be coming to Hack Your Health, unfortunately, this year. So Bill asked me to let everyone know that. He feels terrible about it. We all told him, Bill, don't feel terrible.
Don't feel terrible.
Don't worry about it, brother.
Your health is more important. And we're going to get Bill at another meetup, maybe in Lynn's home state of Washington, which is much closer to Alaska. We had an amazing meetup there with Dr. Baker. So stay tuned for that. But if you guys aren't watching Bill, go check out his channel.
It's a much shorter plane trip.
All right. PR64. We're going to take this question, and then we're going to do a drawing for the Healing Humanity shirt. So please get your questions in now if you have any. Is it okay to do 18-6 fasting indefinitely, or is it good to take a break after a period of time?
If you're feeling okay, then absolutely, you can go as long as you want. And is it good to take a break? Potentially. I mean, if you're doing 18-6 now and you want to see if things might change up for you, then stop doing that for a little bit and see, you be the captain of your own ship. So you be in charge, you test those things out, and everyone's different. So, what may work for someone else is not going to work for you, and vice versa. So, yeah, maybe try it out and come back and report and let us know how it's going.
Yeah, and if you're stalling in your progress, then maybe throw some 24-hour fasts in there, or maybe have a day where you eat more. Mix it up.
All right, should we do the drawing?
All righty.
Here we go. So we're giving away a Healing Humanity shirt. Beverly, congratulations. Beverly, you've won a Healing Humanity shirt in color blue. How can Beverly claim her prize, Adam?
Well, Carrie, Beverly can go to healinghumanity.movie/giveaway, fill out the form, and Ashley will send you your shirt promptly. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Beverly. All right, we're going to do another giveaway, and this one is for a 30-day membership to our healinghumanity.life site, which we talked about earlier. We've got like over a dozen Zoom calls per week, and we've got community. We've got courses all there for you if you're interested in joining. If you don't win, there's a promo code, link in the description below. So leave your best question with hashtag life. Hashtag life, and we're going to randomly pick one of those before the end of the call. All right, our next question is from Chilled Monkey Brains.
I love it.
Chilled Monkey Brains asks, I really appreciate everything that you all are doing. Just wondering, what can very low income people do? I cannot do chicken, pork, or bone in meats due to autism sensitivities.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my good friend Amy had the same situation where, I mean, she had to do hot dogs and, she did, some eggs. I know eggs are expensive now, but,
Cheaper than a ribeye.
I mean, the worst version of carnivore is going to be better than standard American diet. I mean, that's my opinion. If you're transitioning from standard American diet, you have to do hot dogs, get them as clean as you can. Ground beef is, you could do ground lamb. Lamb is cheaper than beef. I don't know, Ashley, you're the meat guy.
Well, I was also going to say that, there's a lot of other less expensive cuts of meat, and there's great channels out there to learn how to cook those meats properly. Carrie put out a fantastic video today on a chuck roast that tastes as good as a ribeye. So
has your recipe changed, Carrie?
Well, you should watch the video to find out. It looked amazing, but I think the point is the cheaper cuts of meat can taste great if you learn to cook them as well. And and like Lynn said, ground beef, even making some of your own is a great way to go too.
The ground beef, by the way, you can cook it as beef patties. You can cook it as meatballs. You can just put a pound of ground meat there and eat it straight like that. Mix it with eggs.
Yeah.
Yep. Lots of options for sure.
Yeah. And with the food sensitivities, obviously, with the autism, it's probably, I'm assuming you're going to have to go low histamine. So that could create a little more challenges, but, try out some things and see how you do.
All right. We got a question for Dr. Nelson. I've been waking up in the middle of the night, tossing and turning the last few days. Do you know what that could be?
Are you carnivore? Not. How long have you been carnivore?
Yeah, they're carnivore. I know this person.
Okay, so the context matters a little bit, but try to pay attention to the things included. If you just search for sleep hygiene, you're gonna find different things. One of the things that I would certainly suggest is get exposed to light as early as possible, sunrise if possible. When you do that, not to light inside the house, I'm talking about sunlight. When you do that, you're helping your circadian rhythm, okay? Exercise early in the day, could be in the morning, could be maybe mid-afternoon, probably not later than that, because when you exercise very late, some people then have trouble sleeping. I don't know if you're doing that or not. Those are things that sometimes we don't think about, but they do help. And staying off the screens for a couple of hours before you go to bed. Just do all the things in the sleep hygienes before you consider supplements, medications, or anything like that. It could also be something temporary. I think I've gone through days, and I never had a problem sleeping. I've gone through days where my energy was up. I am feeling good, and I'm also having difficulty falling asleep. I don't know if any of you have had that experience. Maybe when you started carnivore, or at some point after that. But if it's that, it's most likely transitory. But
Yeah, and I mean, if it's tossing and turning, it could be the anxiety. There could be something going on, because I know the tossing and turning, or I'm curious to know if there's something. Are you uncomfortable? Like, is this something that your body's uncomfortable? Are you having any pain? Or have you had caffeine late at night? There's a whole bunch of factors.
even if it's not late at night, if you had a cup of coffee at noontime, it could affect your sleep. So if you're drinking coffee, do it very early in the morning. And last thing is, like my boss would say, get up and do something then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, don't.
Yeah. But if it keeps going on, and despite everything Dr. Nelson said, go see your doctor and see, I mean, it could be sleep apnea. Who knows?
Julie's asking, hey, Julie and Rich, friends of the channel. Julie and Rich have been out to Montello a couple times. We're signed up to be there. I believe she's talking about meat stock. What is the goal for you? Do you predict the movie is finished, and do you think you'll be
or maybe Hack Your Health
there? Yeah, so I don't know which one you're talking about, Julie, but it's not going to be finished in time for Hack Your Health, which is in November. We are wrapping up editing the film through the end of the year, but not going to be presenting the movie at Hack Your Health. We are doing a panel at Hack Your Health, and we're sharing some footage behind the scenes, stories from the documentary, including potentially some of the many individuals, doctors, experts, and individuals that were in the documentary. So that's Hack Your Health. At Meatstock, we are hoping to do more. In fact, I was talking to Scott the other day, and we're hoping to have Healing Humanity be a big part of Meatstock and possibly present something at that point. And the goal is to have the documentary done at that point. So we'll definitely be there. We'll definitely be speaking. We'll definitely be talking about Healing Humanity. All right. Carnivore Lifestyle Anthony asks, is it better to walk, strength train before or after having a delicious carnivore meal?
I know I'm not the fitness person here. We need Coach Lisa to weigh in on this one. What do you guys do?
I think it's best to be afterwards. I think if you work out beforehand, and then the nutrition comes in to help replenish and build back muscle and other things that you're working towards. I've always heard it's better to have a big nutritious meal afterwards. Plus, I don't like working out if I'm really full. Not that I'm a big workout expert either, but to me, it's a lot harder to go out and really get a good workout in. Now, the opposite of that, I would say, if your exercise is not a big, huge powerlifting routine and it's just getting out and walk, I've also heard that that's also very good after a meal, is to get out and be to move and get out after a meal to do 30 minutes to an hour of walking.
Yeah, before I do any sort of intense like walking, and I've been doing a lot of brisk walking lately, and I'm working with Coach Lisa, and she absolutely says do the Sole water before, hydrate and make sure I do Sole water, and it definitely does help.
Yeah, I definitely like to work out. If I'm doing any kind of strength training, I like to do it fasted. So I definitely don't like to have eaten before I do any of that type of working out. And like Ashley said, when I do eat, I generally, if I'm doing walking, I'll definitely walk after I've ate. So, but really this is an individual thing, and it's all based on what your goals are and what outcome you want to have. So, yeah.
Gloria says, sorry, I don't know how to ask you or at you, but you only eat meat, just any kind of meat, nothing else. Beef, butter, bacon, eggs. That's it. Seafood, chicken, pork occasionally, but for me, that's it. Yep. And most people carnivore, that's all we're doing. And actually, Gloria had a follow-up question here. Are there different levels of carnivore diet? I'm afraid of missing my sides with meals.
Yeah, I mean,
missing sides in what sense? Like you're gonna miss having them, or are these sides providing a nutritionally dense value?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm assuming by sides she probably means the carbohydrate sides, which we, typically would have when you're not eating carnivore. Um, we often will have deviled eggs as sides. I mean, bacon is always an amazing side, but I think that like if I'm reading into kind of what she's asking is there's a psychological component to going carnivore that people can struggle with because you're eating very differently and it does seem like there's not the variety. Now we've learned as it's been 2-3 years, right, for us to being on carnivore, that you can get a lot of variety. But when you're first starting to just get over get past that psychological part of it, really focusing on what you're trying to accomplish and why you're wanting to do this, it's amazing what happens when you start to see the improvement in your health and you're feeling so much better. It gets so much easier not to want the side dishes. And so I would definitely encourage you to give it the 30, 60, 90 days. I mean, the doctors recommend a full 90 days, but even if you have to just say, hey, for 30 days, I'm going to do it and just see what happens. I know I noticed by day 3, my inflammation, my body pain was so much significantly better. No more bloating. I had that beautiful empty feeling inside. My weight was starting to come off. I mean, the improvements for me were quite quick. It's not always that quick for everybody, but when you feel better, it gets so much easier not to miss the food that was making you feel badly. And stay connected with the community because we've all been through this and we're here to support each other and help navigate these challenges.
All right. Sandy has a question. Doctor wants me on a diet for gallstones after I had an attack. In 8 weeks, my fasting glucose has been under 100 for 2 weeks. I don't want all those carbs. Would lean meats and some fat be okay?
Yes. There are different diets and different, even functional doctors, naturopath will have a protocol for gallstones. Most of your gallstones were formed because of lack of use. In other words, you were on a low-fat diet, and the bile acid got stagnant in your gallbladder, formed, it precipitated, formed stones. Okay, so being on a high-fat diet will actually stimulate and regulate your gallstones. Interestingly enough, whenever you are, again, changing in diets is a common cause of people having gallstone attacks. I discovered 2 years ago I have a gallstone. I have never in my life had a gallstone symptom. Happens to be there. I discovered it before I had on Carnivore, but I don't think you probably do better. My opinion, I'm not your doctor, you're not my patient, but my opinion, you probably do better sticking with your fatty cuts of meat and titrating maybe the amount of fat to your symptoms.
Yeah, and I know the doctor, they can get concerned about having too much fat because it does stimulate the gallbladder, to work, like Dr. Nelson said. And when you have existing stones, they're concerned about passing or getting an obstruction and having it get stuck in your bile duct. And that is a real risk for sure. So I would just kind of add a little caveat to really watch it because you don't want to risk you being in a situation where you end up with an obstructed bile duct because that could be incredibly serious. That usually results in a severe constant pain, whereas a gallbladder attack will be kind of waves of pain. They'll come and go, but an obstructed bile duct is constant pain. Don't ignore that. And if you continue to have attacks, unfortunately, some people just have to get their gallbladder removed. It's just a fact. It's not anything to mess with when it comes to risking a possible obstruction, infection, perforation. So just be very in tune with your body and don't mess around if you're having pain. Go get checked out.
God, Me, and Keto Carnivore asks, is non-HDL cholesterol dangerous?
So I'm going to throw the question back to you, the rest of the panel here. This way, just scratch non-HDL. Is cholesterol dangerous? Okay.
No, our body actually, without food, our body creates, what is it, 80%, Dr. Nelson? 80% of our own cholesterol?
I've heard as far as 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams of cholesterol a day is produced.
We produce it within our own bodies irrespective of what we eat. So our body absolutely needs cholesterol. And the only thing that you need to worry about with cholesterol is the small, dense particles. So if you get a advanced lipid panel done, and you can see that there's sizes of your lipid particles, and there's small dense particles, there's big fluffy particles. The small dense particles carry cardiovascular risk. On a carbohydrate intensive diet, you're going to have a lot more of those, whereas on a carnivore diet, you're going to have less and a lot more of the big fluffy particles that carry no risk. And cholesterol is part of your brain. It's part of all your cell membranes. It plays an important function in your body. So it's not just not dangerous. It's actually essential to your health.
So by the way, let me explain that the non-HDL cholesterol, what that means is you take your total cholesterol, you subtract the HDL cholesterol, which is thought to be the good cholesterol, right? And what's left, all of it is considered atherogenic. The main portion of that will be LDL cholesterol, but there's also VLDL cholesterol, ILDL, in that number. So the non-HDL, because the HDL is considered the good, everything else is bad. Well, it's not that simple. Is it the highest risk for atherosclerosis? I can tell you that it is not. Is there any risk associated with the non-HDL or particularly the LDL? Well, you might want to do a fractionation, advanced lipid panel, NMR, lipoprotein evaluation, and look at what Lynn was talking about. For more information of that, where can they look, Carrie?
They can watch the video I did with the amazing Dr. Nelson coming out soon. We're just finishing editing it. So within the next week, it'll be on my channel. But one of the things that Dr. Nelson shared during that call that I found fascinating was a chart of other risk factors that people should probably be concerned with. I think there were 12 on that chart, like type 2 diabetes, inflammation, insulin resistance, things like that, that are much stronger indicators for having heart disease. And cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, was way down on the bottom of that list. So is it something to worry about? Potentially, but I think most people are worrying about that when there's 10 or 11 other things that are much stronger indicators that they're completely ignoring because we've been so led to believe cholesterol is dangerous, eating meat's going to clog our arteries, and we're all fearful of the wrong thing.
Yeah, and there's actually science that has shown, especially over the age of 60, 65, that lower cholesterol is associated with higher all-cause mortality. So people that have either from statins or just generally low from diet, low cholesterol tend to die more from things like cardiovascular disease, strokes, have more Alzheimer's.
Yeah, I just plopped this chart up. This will be in the video, but Dr. Nelson shared this with me. So it shows 12 hazard ratios for development of coronary heart disease. And LDL, I think, is number 10 on the list.
11.
11.
Yeah,
11 out of 12.
And that's just lumping LDL. It doesn't even tell you, like, it's not breaking it down by particle size.
Good question. All right. We got charts and graphs and everything. Cool. Marla, are the Zooms in the $3.99 community or the $30 group? The Zoom calls are in healinghumanity.life.
The $30 group.
The $30 group. Yeah. I'm sorry. It can get confusing. There's YouTube has memberships too, which we have, and that does not include the Zoom calls.
Right.
Yep. But with that $30 a month, you get 40 Zoom calls a month and the community and the courses. And you get to make fun of Carrie if you want to.
Code below.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, I am not officially a member of the Healing Humanity crew. I consider myself an honorary member. But, you know, I have to say the value is tremendous. Try it for a month or two if you want to. There are Zoom calls for everyone there. Whatever you're dealing with, they probably have a Zoom group, a Zoom link meeting for that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's an activity feed. And so you don't have to necessarily attend a Zoom call to get your answers. You can post your questions anywhere. We've got hundreds of people that'll come on and be able to answer questions. And you can connect with people like you would with Facebook, direct message people. So you get kind of build community, get to know people.
Question: has anyone on the panel smoked cigarettes? If so, how did you quit?
I did for from the time I was 13 years old until I was 25. So
I thought you were going to say till last week.
no, I still smoke actually. No. But it was basically just a decision with me. I tried with patches and the gums and all that stuff to try to quit. But I just made a decision one day that I'm going to quit. This is it. I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And I stopped and haven't
started chewing tobacco.
Once you get past that 6-month mark or so, I'd say, when you smell smoke again, it's almost detrimental. Like, my God, how did I ever do that? It's pretty intense.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I know, I can't think of any carnivores I know that quit smoking after carnivore, but so many others I've heard quitting other addictions. Like our friend Todd Bachnes quit chewing tobacco, diet soda, gambling addictions. It seems like a lot of people are able to better overcome their addictions on carnivore.
Mm-hmm.
Sally has a question. Had my gallbladder removed. Is carnivore still okay to do?
Yes. I don't have a gallbladder. When you're just getting started, you may need to go slower with increasing your fat. Maybe start a little bit lower and increase it more gradually. That's what I had to do. You may need to take like ox bile supplements or, some other, digestive enzymes, but absolutely it is. And I don't have to take anything anymore. I can do high fat. So your body will adjust. Your liver still produces bile. Your gallbladder is just a storage sac for it that will, have a little reserve in there to pump out, but your body will still function.
And I share the same thing. I don't have a gallbladder, and same thing as Lynn. I'm able to eat high fat and don't have any issues. And I've since learned, Sally, that a lot of carnivores sadly don't have gallbladders.
Yeah, it's all those years of eating low fat. Like Dr. Nelson said earlier, your gallbladder needs to function. You get gallstones because it's not functioning because it doesn't have anything to do. Its job is to handle the fat in your diet.
All right. Morton asks, any of you know about a good brand of butter for Scandinavia or Norway?
I've never shopped in Scandinavia or Norway, so I can't answer that one.
Maybe someone else in the live, in the chat can help with that one.
Kerrygold is Irish, right? Did they get that over there?
If you got Kerrygold on the shelf, grab that. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, I like Vital Farms. I don't know if you have Costco over there, but the Kirkland grass-fed butter is actually really clean and really good.
That's what I like.
So Costco seems to be everywhere. I don't know if it's in Scandinavia or not, but that's a good one if you do have Costco.
Anyone else found value with sous vide to tenderize cheaper cuts of beef?
Yes.
Me, I have for sure, thousands of times probably.
Yeah.
Great way to
You
do
gotta
it.
get me one of those.
Speaking of meat, Aisha, what creative ways are people finding to help with the rising prices of beef?
Sous vide chuck roll.
There you go. Chuck roll. I was going to mention that the chuck, depending on how much, if you can put down a larger chunk of money to buy a whole and cut steaks yourself, that always is a savings. I watch the ads like crazy. Honestly, I every week I've got my apps on my phone that I look on there and see where the discounts are. And sometimes it's tri-tips, sometimes it's ground beef, sometimes it's ribeyes. Especially my biggest tip for people is around the holidays, they almost always have sales on, Easter, Christmas, New Year's. They almost always have good sales on your ribeyes and your better cuts of meat. And that's the time to load up the freezers, get a vacuum sealer. I get a bunch at once and vacuum seal them up and throw them in the freezer.
Yeah. Yeah. My son goes to Cash and Carry. I don't know if you guys have those. It's a chef store.
Mhm.
You can get this huge, massive piece of meat. And I think you paid like $100 and you can get, I think 13 ribeyes or 13 steaks. You just slice it up. Like you said, vacuum seal it and mix it.
Adam,
Per pound is good.
have you done any rump roast in the sous vide?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And it comes out pretty tender.
Oh, it comes out tender, more tender than a filet mignon. Yeah, it's delicious.
And that's probably the cheapest kind of roast that you're gonna find.
And lamb is cheaper than beef, and not everybody likes lamb.
Yes, and it depends also on the cut. By the way, a leg of lamb is less gamey than sometimes the lamb chops or the shoulder chops. It depends, but I eat lamb as well. It's cheaper, and if you find goat is also cheap, or at least cheaper than beef.
Papa Eater said, I cut rump roasts into steaks and cooked them slow in the air fryer. I haven't tried that. I actually had rump roast today in the slow cooker. I got to try to sous vide it, though, because I bet you that is incredible. All right. Well, we're getting to the end of the hour. We're going to do the drawing for the Healing Humanity shirt. Before we do that, Adam, Lynn, Dr. Nelson, Ashley, do you guys have anything coming up? Anything you want to shout out? Where can people find you, follow you, things like that?
I do not.
Yeah. Well, I'm at Midlife Carnivore on my YouTube channel. I do want to say that I, encourage people, if you're still struggling with food noise addiction, I have my book, Breaking Addictions, that's available on Amazon. And the workbook, optional workbook. So cheap, only $10. So, yeah.
At the real Dr. Nelson in most popular platforms, and also wherever there's a Dr. Kilt's live or anything, I'm there as well. We start in 2 weeks. We start we just finished yesterday our first class, the Kilt's Health Coaching Certification class. We're starting a new one on October 15th. I have the link in my show notes, in my description. They don't have it. You have to go to mine. Subscribe if you're not, please. But the link is there if you're interested in a coaching course.
Awesome.
Yes. And I'll have one quick shout out because I saw a comment in the comments earlier about future meetups. The question was, are we kind of slowing down through the end of the year? We've got Hack Your Health coming up in November. For those who missed it earlier, that we're definitely going to be there. And then we are planning some additional meetups to start after the first of the year. So definitely keep paying attention to the healinghumanity.movie/events tab. And as soon as we finalize details, we'll post some more there. Excited for next round of meetups. At some point, they're going to turn into premieres. And so that'll be even more exciting.
Yeah.
But the
We
folks,
do have an event coming up in December, but we don't have the details nailed down yet. It's probably going to be in the middle of December. It's going to be in Florida, so stay tuned.
Sounds good. All right.
Santa Kilt's going to be there.
It is a Dr. Kilt's event.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, here we go with 30-day membership to healinghumanity.life. Janice Coppersmith, congratulations. Adam, how can Janice claim their prize?
Well, Janice, you can go to healinghumanity.movie/giveaway, fill out the form, and Lynn will send you a code promptly. Congratulations.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for all of your questions. Thank you, Adam, Lynn, Dr. Nelson, Ashley. Make sure you're following all these individuals. Link in the description below. And if we missed your question, we apologize. I encourage you to come on early next week. We do this every Thursday at 6 p.m. Central. If you get your question in sooner, we'll definitely be able to get to it. And if you didn't get it, you always have the option of healinghumanity.life. We can answer it over there as well. So thank you, everyone, for joining us, and have a good night. We'll see you on the next one.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night.